Israel and Hamas agreed to a ceasefire in Gaza. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, January 16th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. A deal to halt the devastating 15-month war in Gaza was announced yesterday. At the top of the show, you heard Palestinians celebrating in the Gazan city of Deir al-Balah. In its first phase, the agreement would involve the release of 33 Israeli hostages, including 2 Americans. It would also stop Israel's bombardment of Gaza, which Palestinian officials say has killed more than 46,700 people. Israel says an estimated 1,200 people were killed in Hamas's October 7, 2023 attack on southern Israel. 251 people were taken hostage. Those still held in Gaza include Shiri Bibas, her husband, and their 2 young children. Her cousin, Yifat Zeiler, spoke to the Associated Press yesterday in advance of the deal's announcement.
It's time to bring home our people. It's time to end this war. It's time to prove that humanity can win.
President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump both took credit for the deal. Their teams worked closely together in the final days of negotiations. Israel's government still needs to approve the agreement before it can take effect on Sunday. But there have been some complications this morning holding up that vote. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Hamas had backed out of parts of the deal, but a Hamas official said that wasn't true. So make sure you check out our site today for live updates. Biden delivered his final address from the Oval Office last night. That's number 2. In 4 days' time, Biden will be replaced by Donald Trump, a man Biden has described as a threat to democracy and unfit for the presidency. In his farewell address, Biden left Americans with a somber warning. He said there's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of wealthy and well-connected people.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy, our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead.
This was a thinly veiled reference to tech billionaires like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos. They have been increasingly aligning themselves with Trump and will have prime seats at his inauguration. Bezos owns the Washington Post. Biden's speech capped a 50-year career in which he experienced tragedy and triumph. But in the end, his legacy may be largely shaped by his fateful decision to run for re-election in 2024 at age 81 before dropping out of the race in July. Number 3 is a Washington Post exclusive. Trump is considering a plan to, quote, save TikTok from a ban or forced sale. The U.S. is on track to ban the video sharing app on Sunday. The Supreme Court is expected to allow a law to proceed which calls for TikTok to be sold by its China-based parent company or face a nationwide shutdown. But Trump, who takes office on Monday, may give TikTok a reprieve. The president-elect is considering an executive order that would suspend enforcement of the law for 60 to 90 days. That would buy his administration time to find a permanent solution. Trump has expressed a keen interest in being seen as rescuing a platform on which he believes he's widely admired. But some experts say his plan to overrule a law that Congress approved is legally questionable. If you use TikTok, you're probably wondering what this all means for you. In our newsletter today, we have a story with all you need to know to prepare for a possible ban. Just follow the link in our show notes. Number 4. Better conditions are helping firefighters battle the Los Angeles wildfires. The city and its suburbs aren't out of danger yet, but cooling temperatures and waning winds are bringing a few days' reprieve after more than a week of devastating fires. The 2 biggest fires, Palisades and Eaton, have not spread significantly in days. They are now 21 and 45% contained. But dangerous winds could return next week. A post-analysis out today digs deeper into how this disaster unfolded. It found that climate change, strong winds, and unprepared neighborhoods combined to create a new kind of urban firestorm. You can get a link to that story in our newsletter today. It's well worth your time. Number 5. A controversial dye found in candy, drinks, and snacks was banned. Red dye number 3 is a coloring found in things like bubblegum, ice cream cones, and sprinkles. And for years, there has been a debate about whether it's safe for humans to consume. Studies have shown that high doses could cause cancer in rats, but there is no evidence that the coloring causes cancer in humans. Federal officials moved to ban it yesterday. Under the rule, the dye must be removed from food by mid-January 2027. The FDA argues that it's safer to use natural coloring from beets or red cabbage. Around 40 states could experience sub-zero temperatures in the next 2 weeks. That's number 6. A polar vortex is about to dip into the U.S. That's a stormy ring that typically keeps the coldest air locked up near the North Pole. But as it moves south, it's going to bring dangerously cold temperatures to millions. The cold air is forecast to arrive in the northern Rockies on Saturday. From there, it will rapidly move south and east. By Monday, it will cover much of the country. Temperatures may be as low as -20 to -30 in parts of Idaho, Utah, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. We have a forecast map in our newsletter today. Follow the link in our show notes to see exactly how cold it's going to get where you live. And at number 7, archaeologists uncovered a 2,000-year-old women-centered society. Not a lot is known about how societies worked in Iron Age Britain. Human remains from this period are rare. That made the discovery of a Celtic burial ground in southern England from the time period very exciting. Archaeologists recovered the genetic material of 55 individuals from the site, and their analysis revealed something unexpected. It appeared that husbands moved to join their wives' families instead of the other way around. That's a rare sign of female influence and empowerment in the ancient world. It's not known how widespread the practice was at the time. But researchers also found that maternal lineage dominated in other Iron Age sites in Britain. And ancient Roman sources like Julius Caesar also chronicled their encounters with powerful Celtic women. It's not clear that those Roman accounts can be trusted, but in any case, the new analysis adds to the historical record of ancient girl bossing. All right, you're all caught up. Before you leave us to start your day, head over to our show notes and find our newsletter. The 7 Morning Briefing is where you can find links to all the stories I talk about here on the podcast and more. We send it early every weekday morning, and it's totally free. All you have to do is sign up. Then send me an email and tell me what you think. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.